Welcome back to Just Scribble for a fountain pen unboxing. So this is actually, I think, one of 3 fountain pens that I'm going to be filming unboxings of this week. I've been so busy with work, I haven't been able to film, and I have a little collection of new fountain pens, and so I wanted to share them with you. The first one that we are going to unbox is my new Platinum fountain pen. So Platinum is my favorite fountain pen brand of the big 3. So of Pilot, Sailor, and Platinum. Platinum is my favorite. Sailor runs a very, very, very tight second, and then Pilot is the third in the 3. But Platinum is and has been for a very long time one of my favorite fountain pen brands ever. And a couple of years ago, I don't remember the year exactly, but I do have a video, so I will look and I will link that up in the cards above. They had launched a retractable fountain pen. It's called the Curidas, and I actually did a video on my channel of that fountain pen when it came out and shared my new Curidas, and I really love that retractable fountain pen. I do have other retractable fountain pens. I have a Vanishing Point. I even have a Right Tech retractable, but I really like the Curidas a lot, and they recently launched some new colors. One of which is their Stone Iolite in Violet, and I ordered one, and so we are going to open it up and check it out together. So it comes in this little sleeve, and then in this box. Oh, it's so pretty. I couldn't pass it up. I don't need another retractable fountain pen. I don't need any more fountain pens, honestly. But I could not pass this up because it's purple and it's so pretty. Oh, and I'm just so excited. And they have made a few changes to the style since the original one that I shared. So I am excited to check this one out. So you do get a little pamphlet that shows you how to disassemble it and reassemble it, how to attach it back together, how to fill the converter, etc. You do get an ink cartridge with it. So this is in Platinum Blue Black. And then you do get a converter. The converters are proprietary. This one is in silver. So it looks like that. And you just turn the back to move that little piston so that you can push ink or water and suck ink or water into the converter. So I'm going to put that back in. And then this is my new Violet Iolite. So let me take off the little price tag. And this is my pen. So it has this sort of iridescent sheen to it. So it kind of changes color in different light. It gets kind of a green sheen and then the purple sheen. It is a purple pen, but it has different tones to it depending on how the light hits it. And then I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but it does have a very fine sparkle to it. And it's kind of a matte finish. It feels very, very soft. There is a clip here, but the clip is removable. That is one thing that people don't necessarily like about the Curidas, or that people had not liked when they first came out, is they didn't like the placement of the clip, but you can take that clip off if you don't want to use it. There's a button at the back, and that's how you retract the pen. So when you push that, it opens up this little flap and your nib appears. So if you can see that, the little flap opens and your nib appears. So because it has this little flap, your pen doesn't dry out. And so you click it all the way and your nib comes out. I did get this in a fine. And then you click it again, it goes back in, and the little cover goes back. Oh, it is so pretty. I'm so excited. All right, so we are going to flush my pen, and then we are going to ink it up. And actually, before we take it apart, let me show you. So this is the ink that we are going to ink it up with. This is a dual shading ink from Van Dieman's. I actually have quite a few Van Dieman inks that I need to share with you guys. That is another video that I need to film this month. And so this is one of the ones that I was going to share with you guys, but I really want to use it in this pen. So we're going to check it out here, and then I'll also share it in a future video. But this is from their new professional line, and so it's called Natura Dualis. It is Riverbank, and it is a dual tone fountain pen ink. And so their professional collection is a collection of premium quality fountain pen inks engineered with advanced formulations exhibiting exceptional light fastness, permanency, and water resistance. And all Van Dieman inks are made in Tasmania. It's this really cool, hopefully it's coming through the camera, funky army green color, but when it dries, it's going to have these beautiful different colored shadings. So before we take my pen apart, let us put the ink. Let's see. You know what? We'll do it on here. I'm going to do this on two different kinds of paper. So the notepad is Tomoe River paper, so original TRP. And then this is Cosmo Air Snow that I just happen to have out. So I'm going to do a little swatch of the ink. And then while we're filling our pen, it will dry. So I'm just going to take a little nib, or not a nib. I'm just going to take a little cotton Q-tip thing. Now this is probably going to be fairly light, and then this is a fine nib, but I still really wanted to use this ink in this pen because I think it's going to be really pretty with it. So we're going to see how it turns out. All right, while that dries, let's take apart our pen. So you take the back off, and then there's a little notch here, and you push till you get to the notch, and then twist and pull, and your nib unit comes out. So we can leave the spring in there, but your nib unit comes out. And then there's another one of those little notches, so you turn and pull. And there you have the unit that your converter will stick onto. And we're going to flush this in some water, turning it clockwise to suck some water up in there, and then counterclockwise to release the water, just to flush the pen real quick. I'm going to do the same thing in the ink. We're going to suck up some ink. So the piston is all the way down here, and then we're going to stick the nib down in the ink. We're going to turn it clockwise to suck ink up into that converter. I'm just going to set that down there for a second. Look how pretty this ink is. It is so pretty, and I just think it's going to be really pretty in this pen. All right, so I'm going to wipe off the excess just to make sure that I don't have any on the nib. Then I'm going to put this piece back over the converter, slide it so that that goes in the notch, the little dot goes in the notch, and then twist to lock it in place. And so now this little protector part is attached. Then I'm going to stick the nib unit back in the spring and into the front part of the pen body, and then line up that little dot, push, turn, and pull so that it locks in place right there. Now the nib unit is attached to the front part of the body, and then I'm just going to screw the back part of the body on. And now when I click it, the nib is exposed and it's all inked up. So this is the Cosmo Air Snow. I don't use this paper very often, but I was actually printing some A5 inserts, and I decided to print on this paper because I don't really use it all that often. But it did not bleed through. There is ghosting, but no bleed through, and that's with the very heavy ink that I laid down with the cotton swab. But this is the beautiful ink, and then this is the effect on original Tomoe River paper. So it's much more dramatic on the Tomoe River paper than it is on the Cosmo Air Snow. Cosmo Air Snow isn't really a great fountain pen ink paper. It takes fountain pen inks, but it's not a paper you would use to get high performance out of your inks, like major shading and things like that. So now we are going to write, let me turn my paper, Platinum Curidas Stone Iolite Fine with Van Dieman's. Okay, this ink is really pretty in this pen, and it is not too light. I really like it. I'm super excited. This is Riverbank, and it's Natura duels. So there we have a writing sample. It's not going to have as much shading and dual shading on this paper, but it's also not going to have as much because I put it in a fine nib. If I put this in a stub or one of my double broads or my Sailor Zoom, it would have some beautiful, you would see some beautiful shading, but in a fine nib, you're not going to get quite as much of an effect, especially on this paper, but we're going to do it on the Tomoe paper as well. But you still do get shading, you just don't get quite the same dramatic effect. But I think this ink looks so pretty with this pen. I just thought it would be a really fun neutral. All right, so now I'm going to write, and hopefully I'm on screen. I love the feedback that you get from a Platinum pen. But if you watch my other fountain pen unboxing videos that are coming, you're going to see that I didn't leave any brand unturned. Let's see, Natura, Duels. And so there you have the writing sample on the Tomoe River paper. It's kind of a beigey ink with pink undertones and then a little bit of green. It's going to be really hard to pick up all of the shading on the camera, but you can actually see it in person. Not quite to this dramatic effect, but I think it's really pretty. And I was afraid that it was going to be a little bit light in this pen, but it's not light at all. It's very easy to read. It's going to be perfect to journal with or to plan with. And you might be able to see in this kind of scribbly part here where it actually has the green coming through and the pink coming through. And so you can see it on the Tomoe River paper, even on the K in Bank. It just depends kind of on how much ink you lay down. And again, if I put this ink in a thicker nib, so a stub or something like that, you're going to get a lot more effects. And when I share these inks in an upcoming video, because I have the entire line to share with you as well as some other inks, you will see the dual shading, and I will put some inks, or at least one of them, in a different pen that has a broader nib so that you guys can see how it looks when you write. But for this pen, oh, I can see it on here and it looks so pretty. But for this pen, I just really wanted this ink because I thought it would be such a pretty compliment to this pen, and I really, really love it. I think it is perfect. Oh, I'm so excited for this pen. So I really like this pen. Everyone has a personal preference when it comes to fountain pens, but especially when it comes to retractable fountain pens. I find the Curidas more comfortable to write with than I find my Vanishing Point. Part of it, I think, is the length and the fact that I do have larger hands for a woman. Part of it is the diameter of the pen. I just feel it's very comfortable to hold and to write, and it has a really nice balanced weight to it. I just really like the way this pen feels in my hand and how it feels to write. I find that it's a really good everyday pen or a really good work pen because it's retractable. You don't have to worry about losing the cap, or, you know, if you're in a meeting, you can quickly retract and detract it to make quick notes. It's professional looking, but it's not overly expensive, so I don't feel super cautious about using it or carrying it at work. And I just absolutely love it. And I love the new finish. My other one, like I said, I'll link the video and the cards up above. My other one is a transparent. And so the whole thing is like a clear transparent, a sort of grayish clear transparent. But I really like the finish on this pen. I think it is so pretty. It's very subtle, but I love the purple pop and the little bit of shimmer and the changing colors. It is a dual shading pen that to go along with the dual shading ink, and I'm really excited for it. So I just had to share with you guys. But that is my quick share and unboxing of my newest Platinum Curidas. I wanted to unbox this, I wanted to ink it up, and I wanted to share with you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them down below and I will definitely get back with you. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss future videos, and don't forget to just scribble.